Hello everybody! Today I thought we would make art using my green art supplies. All of them. Hello, welcome back. I usually have my sketchbook open by now, but the reason why I don't is because I've already sketched a piece for today just so that we can color and swatch together and just kind of chill, because this is going to be a little stressful, I think. I will show you guys the piece really quick and then we'll get to swatching every single art supply that I own that is in green. I have paints, I have paint markers, I have colored pencils, I have watercolor colored pencils. That's not this, but I have them. I also have a whole thing of gouache that you guys haven't seen yet. There are some greens in here and it's fun because it is also green. Ay. Here is what we're going to be coloring today. Ooh! She is super cute. I thought it was a good little sketch for St. Patty's Day. I sketched it in green, so everything is good. And I figured the line art that we would do would also be like a green of some sort. So I am gonna go ahead and set up my area here so we can get to swatching. I'm so excited. I think everything's good to go. Also, don't be mad at me, but I have to show you this just so you know. This is my clean paint palette. So all of this stuff is just on there. It's got like Mod Podge and stuff over it. So just know that I'm flawed. Okay. Gotta protect my area. Okie dokie. So we have quite a few different mediums to test out. So I am just going to go ahead and start with my Ohuhu markers, and then we'll just keep it going with our colored pencils and my paint. What else? There's all sorts of different markers in here, so I'm just going to try to keep it as organized as possible. All right, swatch number 1. 220 lime green. I ain't never seen any lime that color. The more that we swatch, I think we'll be able to tell if it's truly a green or maybe it's leaning more towards blue. Like this one right here is very robin's egg blue to me, so we'll probably not use this one. So the swatching is important just to be able to see all of our colors, but also, you know, if they actually fit with what we're going for. I think it's time for another bucket. Okay, so now I'm gonna swatch these little random Bic permanent markers I have. Just go ahead and just color them in here. Okay, these are the same. Are these not the same? Hang on. Same. Okay, so we only need one of these. We'll put you right there. I do have these brush markers as well. These are exactly the same color green. And of course, our Crayolas. Now, I believe these are also the same color, so I'm going to go with the finer tip and keep that in here. The good thing is, so far, all of these have been pretty juicy. I haven't had to nix one just because they were dry, so that's good. All of these are going to be just our regular markers, permanents, Crayolas, and this is probably what we're going to use for line art because a couple of those were really fine. Poscas. Beautiful. Love that. Last but not least, just a random assortment of colored pencils. Okay, here we go. Oh, you poor thing. You have been broken. Who has hurt you? Wouldn't be a sirens video, now would it? Don't look over here. Okay. All right, let's start with our Faber-Castell polychromos real quick. Now, let's go for the Prismacolor. Every time that I leave Prismacolors and I come back to them, man, they are just like butter. Oof. And then we're also going to do the Colorase. These are the ones that I always sketch with. Last but not least, we have our Staedtler watercolor pencils. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch these up here. We'll keep the paints up here, I think. These don't have a color name on them, so I guess we're just, I mean, they're pretty true to color, so that might be easy to figure out. Oh, that is so pretty. I don't even know if you'll be able to see the green on this palette. It's so gross. Don't look at it. The gouaches. Okay, that is our swatches all done. Ew, gross. So much crust everywhere. This will be very nice to take a gander at while we are drawing. I think let's go through these really quick, and I want to mark out anything that I think is too blue to where it wouldn't be considered a green, really. I would say this one is too yellow. This one's also very yellow. And this one is also very yellow. Yeah, let's start there. Prop this up right here. You stay. Okay, it's coloring time. Eee! Let's do lighter colors first, I guess. GY172, let's do this, I guess. I'm also gonna use this for her skin, just for now, because if this is my lightest, if this is my lightest color, I can go back over it for the shadows and stuff, but at least I'll have a base color down that won't be just white. Where do you go? I guess I should probably also think about filling in some of this back here, eh? The nice thing about greenery is that it's green, and therefore I can just smudge it on here, bits and bobs, and eventually it will look like a greenscape. That's for sure. My main focus too is to make sure that I get all of the greens on here, and then I can always, you know, go back and add more of the colors. I just want to make sure that everybody is included. Let's go with GY4 next. I wanted this shirt to be kind of see-through. Yeah. I think that's good. Who's next? Let's do G420. What now? Let's do G8. Ugh. I think I think this will be a good color for anything that I was thinking could be, you know, like a leather color. And for her corset, I was thinking that her ribbing on here would definitely be a leathery texture. You know? And since we're already on the GY train, I'm gonna do GY8 as well. Do I use it to darken her hair? I guess so, since I started doing it. Now the G6, oh no. Oh, I was talking about G6, this is G4. That would have been a bit, well, I mean, I guess it's not like that huge of a difference, but it's big enough. I think I want this bluish green somewhere on her, but I don't know where, because she's looking a little swampy. Thinking about maybe on the dress down here, maybe a gradient to that. Ooh, I like it. Yes, let's do that. Thinking this for the blush. I think that's a good color, but I'm gonna need to blend that out a bit. I think it's just these 3 dark ones for our hoo-hoo markers left. So let's do that. Speaking of green, we actually started our very first garden this year. I'm so excited. I've never actually done any sort of like food growing whatsoever. I've done flowers and things, not with great success, but I've done it. And so we planted a bunch of stuff. We planted green beans, we planted tomatoes, a bunch of stuff for a salsa garden. Oh, I'm just super excited. Let's see what else. Potatoes. Of course, potatoes. And onions. Ungy bungy boys. Oh, I'm so excited. They're already growing and they're popping up everywhere. They got their little stalks growing towards the sun, and we started them inside, so we'll be moving them outside once, you know, our state decides to get its act together. I wanted to make sure that it shadowed her a bit, so I might use the colored pencils to blend out the shadows. Okay, last Ohuhu marker. Yeah, okay. All the alcohol markers are done. Let's move on to I think the colored pencils will make the biggest difference. So let's do that. All right, Faber-Castell. The Faber-Castell are pretty much the same colors, so I think I'm just gonna try to use the colored pencils to fill in the background that's still showing through a little bit white on this like greenery border thing. Doohickey. I always forget how much I love mixed media pieces until I sit down and decide to do one, and then I get so excited. I just love the texture that it does, and like it just brings so much life. I feel like it's just visually interesting, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's all of these. Coal erase. Now these ones are usually the things that I use for line art, so I might reserve these for whenever we're done because I would like to use those to kind of clean up the sketch a bit. Also, the watercolor, what are these? Colored pencils. The watercolor colored pencils. Wow. I want to do like a sort of like this little white area that I've left in here. I want that to be like kind of like an aurora borealis type of thing. And so I really want it to be flowy, but these colors together also could make it look pretty swampy. What's the move? This color is really pretty though. So actually, you know what? These colors together are okay. They're fine. They're just fine. Now, I am also not an expert at watercolors whatsoever. I did try for a little bit, try to figure it out. And what I figured out is that watercolors are not for the type of artist that I am. I like to have control over what I am making, and watercolors, you kind of gotta go with the flow. So I'm just not, it's not for me. And that's okay. That's just fine. I tried it, decided no, and then you just go from there, you know? Let's melt them a little bit. Okay, so that's all of these done. Beep, boop, bop, beep, bop. Nice. While that dries, let's throw some Sharpies in here. You might say I was being strategic in putting the watercolor down and then going back in with my other art supplies that I have to do. You might say that, or you might say that I forgot about them. That's probably the more likely answer. I'm just gonna go through and add some leaves in here. Give her a little beauty mark. Why not? So many miscellaneous markers. This actually might be good for line art too, so we'll keep that out just in case. We're on the home stretch. I can feel it. Now for the Poscas, I was thinking we could do like a cute design on her dress down here, on her little X's as well. And for this Posca marker, what even? More dots and leaves. Final things. Where does this paint go? Where do you go? Tell me things. Just do some little smudges. I'm abandoning that idea. Am I? Well, now I don't know, because I said I'm abandoning it and I'm still doing it, so still going. Usually I don't have the bestest of luck with Apple Barrel either, but here we are. I think it's helping to push her out a bit. Okay. Wash. I might do a little green gouache wash. These are the last things. So I was thinking I could probably use these as line art. Oh my glob. Are we done? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to actually take a look at it. Let's take it off of here and see what we got. Really? Here it is all done. It turned out so much better than what was in my brain. This is all of the greens that we use. This is our cute little girl that we did. It was so much fun. I was very, very nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because doing different values and things like that to make a piece look like it has depth, and that like the background is different from the foreground is not my forte whatsoever. I definitely want to work on that a little bit more, but this was definitely good practice, and I just love it. I just love how it turned out. That's it for our little St. Patty's Day girl, all of our green stuff. If you doodled along, please post it on Instagram and tag me at xsirenssketches. I would love to see your art. It makes me super, super happy to see everybody's different stuff. If you enjoyed the time you spent here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a whole bunch. And until next time, don't forget to be kind to yourself. Bye!